Hi, hello, welcome to the Consularship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. For your oracle today, I was sent to deliberate a channeled reading from Liminal 11. We will be using This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. I have to pause for a quick sec. Again, This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. And that's to deliberate, to impose the guidance. It'll be the generalized energy here of the reading. Go ahead and do this. I was going to use a different deck, but it seems like it's getting crunked, this deck. If you leave it out for too long, the messages get very precarious and pernicious. And so we'll be using This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman, and that's to impose the guidance. You already have a little bit of energy. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. The overall energy is going to be the next 4 cards. Future cards will come out, but they're always to clarify or modify the initial 4 energies. And so I'll repeat the 4 energies a few times, and then I'll delineate, deliberate, and go from there. We have the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Magician, and the Knight of Cups. The 8 of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Magician, the Knight of Cups. So the overall energy as we're gathered today in the Oracle Consularship will be the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Magician, Knight of Cups. This will be further clarified and modified in later cards, but the initial 4 cards of the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Magician, Knight of Cups. 8 of Pentacles is like having an assignment or learning or whatever. Now, it's not needing to learn. It's kind of on the grind or on that flow or in the zone, because we're already been assigned to a little place. We can be not just learning, but reaching some type of mastery. Or said differently, we might have invested a few seeds, 7 of Pentacles, and they're going to yield, or we sowed a few seeds, 7 of Pentacles, and we're gonna reap them later. This is the middle where whatever we're doing is paying off. We don't have that uncertainty. Now, there might be some delayed messages or some scrutinizing, observing, or some kind of late message. It can also be that there's a spy or we're under scrutiny or something of that nature. With the Magician, there's will. I'm pressing will upon the environment, surrounding location. It can be some intellect, reasoning, communication, or some type of talent, craft, skillfulness. Here, there's just the moving. It's a movement card. Now, the Knights always have to deal with life, past, spirit, karma, destiny, but driving forward, drive, desires, passions, motivations, driving life forward according to it, and the suit, which is cup. So authenticity, genuineness, sincerity. There might be movements of the heart, actions of love here. It can also just be divine messages. And if this were an angel, it would be the cherubim. We have the King of Pentacles with the 3 of Swords. And the 4 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. So the 3 of Swords with the Page of Swords is telling me that we're feeling constrained or blocked or triangulated. There's some type of terms and conditions here placed by the universe. King of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles means in the past we might have been wanting to work or wanting to come into alignment or wanting to study or wanting to learn. However, the universe kind of intervened with the 3 of Swords. There's some triangulation here. So there is something that needs to be, we need to heed or yield or something of that nature. With the 4 of Cups, I think something's come to the threshold, or we might need to detach, whether we're ready to or not, We were going about something, kind of moving hard and heavy. There's a pair of eights here. So we put some time, energy, effort, and indulgence into something with the pair of eights here. Kind of a little bit of spell work, or really I'm feeling manipulation with the magician. But something got waylaid. Three of Swords or triangulated. Now we have the Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. So yeah, we need to speak something. Because the pair of eights also means some type of union. So I do feel like we're on divine assignment and we might not have noticed that yet. From Etsy, we have here to deliberate the findings on any type of matching or pairing energy. The Pop of Love Oracle, but Bible by the Tarot. Again, you can find that over at Etsy. We have this pair of aces here. I'm going to go ahead and clarify that right now. It means some type of, okay, we have a preliminary. Yeah, we might need to leave something behind is what I'm getting. Now, there's other meanings here, but the thread that I'm picking up on is we might need to leave something behind. Really, Four of Cups, we need to detach all the same. We're in our divine feminine energy, even if we're masculine identified or assigned watching this video, we're in our creative and nurturing energy. If we are female identified or assigned, then we're in our divine feminine. Divine feminine is not so much about gender as it is polarity. It's the nurturing, creativity, attracting, reflecting energy. It says here there's a Leo that has shortness of words. So they might have a Leo midheaven, a Leo rising, a Leo sun sign. And there's some unspoken messages, or they're a little bit of a diva. Na diva is a female version of a hustler. Okay, so we got that. So I just heard the word spiritualissimo. So something here is being spiritualized. And on the other side, we got a message that we're at a distance. Because we're in a form of separation, whether it's by space or by ideology or whatever, what have you. We're separated by something. And on our end, we're becoming more spiritually aware to intuition and guides, meditating, releasing self-limiting beliefs, working on inner healing and issues within codependency. You know, coming up to bat here, there's some surrender on our end, and some other side is being a little bit pointed with their energy. Maybe they're being scrutinizing or a little bit distrustful. There might have been a trigger, some kind of event got us reactive. Activated is the word we're using in trauma-informed circles. So, you know, I like the word triggered personally, but it's not all applicable. Stop the track. Back. Okay, so there might also be some sense of remembering who we really are, because there is energy that's kind of expanding and speeding up. We have a pair of eights and a pair of aces. So Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, remember to go ahead and smash that like button. From Ripe Avocado, we will be deliberating the findings for any type of pairing, like double or triple or quadruple numbers here. From the Minor Arcana of the Cosmic Coven Tarot by Lisa Lazenby. I'm pulling on this pair of eights, and we got the Queen of Swords. So this is some kind of need to impose standards or boundaries or oppose, like attack. Yeah, so we needed to secure a position. Four of Pentacles. The other side was probably trying to manifest or create some type of commitment, and there needed to be something said out loud, spoken, and consecrated or made real. Because there's like a mutuality of trust or contentment or being chosen and favored. We have some type of sacred authority here, spiritual authority or absolute authority with the Ace of Swords. There also is like the Holy Grail here with the Ace of Cups. Now, from a mundane or temporal, like an earthbound or like a material, a physical perspective, this Ace of Cups could be, it's the promise of your heart's desires, essentially. It's a type of spiritual gift that makes you very happy. With the Ace of Cups, it is some type of spiritual gift being granted, being given. We have a pair of pages here as well. So we have the Eight of Cups. So this is withdrawal, leaving something behind. I was seeing that with the Four of Cups as well. Yeah, and that is the truth. We need to take some kind of massive action. King of Wands coming out next to the Ace of Swords can be a risk. Normally, I would conclude that to be in the Fool card, but I'm getting the energy that there needs to be some type of risk here or massive action all the same. Because we need to tinker and tweak this a little bit. We're giving too much energy to one direction. It's beginning to create a bottleneck spiritually. We might have gifts that are not being shared or applied because we might be slightly on the wrong path or incorporating too many things, which is another word for straddling the fence. We might be playing both sides in some kind of way that doesn't have to be a negative, distrustful thing. Three of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Nine of Swords, Judgment card. So yeah, about a week ago, something came under judgment, and over the next few weeks, it's gonna backfire. Something's getting cursed. It's pre-damnation, which means that if over the next 3 months they're not able to have a dark night of the soul, confront what's alive in them, if they're not able to inventory what's alive in the depths of their subconscious, they might receive some severe sanctions because they're guilty of something. And I feel like it's the other side. We might have called judgment. With these double pages here, there was a call. We got on the phone or we prayed to God, you know. But there's also somebody who's either angry or defensive. They might even wish to attack. And it doesn't matter, we're the one who has the grace. There's pure, gracious, exalted influence over an entire cycle here. And I'm hearing a song, could if I only could, I make a deal with God. I get them to swap up places. So there might, I mean, I'm not seeing envy or jealousy, I'm seeing anger. And they're guilty of something and they're already being constrained, restrained, ruled, regulated, restricted in some way with the Eight of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles, it's kind of like it's already touched their physical energy in the Empress here. So the Empress with the High Priestess, we are the divine feminine, period, pump, like, end of story. It's the second time it came out. It came out of one of the clarifiers here. I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when. That might be a different Kate Bush song. It just ain't it clear to see on top of the world, looking over the edge. Yeah, so there's multiple songs going on from the same artist. So there's a new version of us. Because we're going into this place where we're highly exalted, blessed, favored, chosen, and anointed. And we have now this gracious, exalted influence over an entire cycle with the High Priestess, which is clarifying the Three of Wands. So the gate is open or the road is open and something's been conjured or manifested or summoned forward. And there's a decree of some time or of some kind, or um, credentials being authorized by the divine, while this other side is getting ruled, regulated, restricted, restrained, wrangled down in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. With the Seven of Wands here, it's because their anger has gotten out of control. And they might have tried to attend to or swap or siphon or reroute something through spiritual means. It was energetic manipulation, spiritual projection, energy projection, spiritual manipulation. And we have a pair of sevens here. So that tells us that we're dealing with an alert, an alarm. A Seven of Cups is an alert to some kind of facade. Something is not as it appears. You know, optics in the rearview mirror, they appear closer than they are. Yeah, so something is a facade. It's fake, phony, maybe even fictitious. Do we have a Seven of Swords? No. But it still is a facade. It's a mirage. It's gaslighting or mirror magic or glamour or something of that nature. It's not as quite persnickety and precarious as the Seven of Swords, which is fictitious. It's an imposter. This is just unhealed, unawakened. It's something from the swamps. I'm hearing the word La Superbia, so there's also some ego here. And it could have been a spell that went poorly with the pair of eights and a pair of sevens. It could have been a spell that went poorly. I'm detecting a little bit of like a love spell as backfiring, and Nine of Swords it's on the other side too, and they're guilty of something. The Judgment card with the Eight of Swords is not pleasant. If you have the 7, 8, 9, or 10 of Swords and the Judgment or the Justice or the Fool, something poor or bad has happened, and it's being rectified by the universe here. So you have the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. They probably wanted some long-term happiness and fulfillment with us. But to our end, we're coming onto our path. There's been some calling on our life that's been called up. Our eternal soul may be being rewritten. And with the Ace of Swords, some truth or decree is being handed to us. And we're being put on assignment here because of how we're moving through the world with love, grace, compassion. And there's something here where other things are going on that interfere with the calling on our life. Three of Swords. People of our rank, of our station, they have affairs going on as well where we need to kind of walk back or we need to report to court because the Judgment card with the Three of Swords can be a celestial summons. Somebody's being called to court. It's not us. We're not the ones being found guilty. It's always the Four of Swords, Eight of Swords where you're being called to. And that's not on our side. It's on the side of other. And we do have an indication of dealing with another person. Sometimes if there's no indication of dealing with another person, it's just ourself in a lower form. Our lower self, our higher self would be here. It's not, it's us versus them. There's been some type of co-creation, collaboration, cooperation, or cliques, covens, cabals, Three of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Three of Pentacles with an eight, a pair of eights, and a pair of sevens mean there's been some type of magic. And we have a pair of threes here as well. So they're working, they're doing altar work. This other side is doing altar work. And over here, we're learning about our path. We're learning that we can call judgment. We're learning that we're a celestial adjudicator. Some type of sacred adjudicator is what we have in our hands. And we have the sort of truth on our side. And this energy is speeding up. So more and more and more and more. We have 1, 2, 3 threes. So when there's 3 threes present in a reading, a triple three present in a reading, it is cliques, covens, cabals. Period, point blank, end the story. Because you have two sets of triangulation here. Objects in the rearview mirror, they are closer than they are, they are. Something here tried to get a piece of us. I don't know what this thing is, but about us, we just kept discovering and awakening, and we were starting to leave. There's three eights here and three threes. I kept thinking it was a pair of eights. There's three eights and three threes. There's a triple three and a triple eight. And I'm chasing the rearview mirror. They up it closer than they are. They are. So that's field distortion. We have a pair of nines. We have a pair of sevens, a pair of aces, triple eight, and a triple three, and a pair of pages. Okay, so this triple three is about what? Oh, so there's something here either within a community or no. Something here is doing it. So we have this energy where external energies keep wanting to interplay or access or intercede in our own energy. They want to kind of plug in as if with some power source. It's unsanctioned energy harvesting. And I'm not seeing the harvesting. So this is something that's already lying in wait, it's already happened. Because in the past, some work was done and it did begin to work. They manifested, they were able to successfully do whatever they wanted to do, but we started to get messages. And we have the writ of innocence here. So when there's a writ of innocence in any type of agreement, the innocent party is the one who gets let out of the contract. And to be honest, what that means is the one with the pure heart who unwillingly or unwittingly participated in soul death is the one who gets let out of the contract. And the karma reverts to the party that knew more. That's why we have the rule of lesser magic. You need to inform the other party of what's happening. And here in the earth, we typically do that in very deceitful or very dark or very underhanded, undercover ways. So we're looking at this triple eight. We have the nine of pentacles. So we're left to our own devices and we built ourselves up from the inside out. We're also seizing upon our own self. We're driving life forward according to intellect, reason, communication, and supreme authority. There is some kind of unsanctioned union here. Or we have a pulpit, a platform, a throne that was consecrated and ordained by the divine Four of Wands. Because we're beginning to find our path and it's going to post us up somewhere. We have a sacred office, Four of Wands. So this pair of sevens. Yeah, something manifested in the past. I don't know what that is. It gave us a little bit of indecision. And this other side was able to live in our energy, acting like they were our spiritual consort, which was unauthorized, unsanctioned. We would have said no to it, Two of Swords. It's a being of an opposing mind. So we're pulling on this pair of knights here. Yeah, there's some vainglorious energy. It thought it was successful. It wasn't. There was a convergence of some kind. Some energy here made a movement to lock in some type of tie or tether between us and another. That's the truth. They were given access, and we have to suspend that or annul that or something of that nature. Yeah, so we're tied to somebody that doesn't need to be. It's unsanctioned. We already pulled on the pair of aces. So we have a few corresponding correlative energy. We'll be using Veda Sibila Daily Oracle by Los Cadabel to deliberate the findings for any type of corresponding correlative energy. Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. The Seven of Cups and the Empress go together. That's a Mohini, the enchantress. So we're seen as an enemy because we're not agreeing with somebody's con or scheme or agenda. High Priestess in the Judgment card, what is that? Ooh, dang. So Spitty fell out sideways, which meant it's trying to come across the field. It can't quite gain access. And it is from another party because the head is going towards the left, not towards the right, which would be us. So that tells me, well, firstly, I'm aware of what's going on now. We're crowning. We're being enthroned. We're going through grace and ennoblement. We're having a glow up because we're really moving from the heart and we're really getting into our own energy, which is getting us into our own path. And yeah, there might have been some lack of healing, lack of awakening. We might have been acting stupid, being stupid, doing stupid, whatever, but we got up out of that. And we're beginning to recognize what's coming across our path, what's coming down the road. And that's working well for us. There was a time, however, where we were tied into another energy. There was some unsanctioned union, and that was their way in. Whether it was a marital union in the spirit or some type of association, there was a cord that didn't need to be there, and it was siphoning. It wasn't harvesting, it was siphoning. There's a difference. We won't take a lot of time. We're running out of time here. So spiri means the longing. And that tells me that they were hoping, wishing, praying from a place of not being empowered. There wasn't a reason for them to want what they wanted, but they saw that we had a lot of promise, a lot of future, bigger, brighter, and better future. And they wanted a piece of that. They saw that something precious was there up for grabs. And they began to breadcrumb or gaslight Seven of Cups. They gaslit us into sharing with them or whatever, something that broke the contract. It broke the agreement. Whatever little bit of hope, faith, and optimism that they could have had got completely shattered. And I'm hearing that song, Dark Future Ahead of Me. That's what they said. I'll be starving if I ate all the lies they fed. Yeah, I'm not warmed up today either. I have a headache. Cause I've been redeemed from your anguish and pain. Miracle. Yeah, we are a miracle child. Judgment, High Priestess, and the Empress. The things that were designed to destroy us only made our soul more beautiful. That's the sign of a chosen child. I called the Knight of Cups the Chariot. So what is this Eight of Swords with the Judgment? So another card came out sideways. It was on the bottom. Yeah, so we got this message here. Yeah, our intuition alerted us to something. We have a built-in alarm system spiritually when people try to come in and do something where they're prospecting our energy, because what they'll try to do is yoke themselves to us in some kind of way, because we're the treasure house, the storehouse of divine gifts and things of that nature. And so they go scrying around in our energy looking for something, and they trying to see what kind of evidence they can collect. And it's backfiring. They have the Four of Cups, so they've been rejected. It was almost a slip through the fingers, Four of Cups as well. Nine of Swords is backfiring. They're haunted. They're either guilty of something, or they have shame and guilt. Magician on the sword, something backfired. You tried to access the heavens, you were rejected. So what's this Empress with a bunch of pages? Because we're unhealed, unawakened, or excuse me, they are unhealed, unawakened. We are I wouldn't say uninitiated, but we're just starting to receive our blessings. That means they're going to get bigger, brighter, and better. They're going to get greater. Apparently, there was some type of sobering experience that woke us up. Yeah, they're in prison. This energy is not going to affect much, and they're hoping to work things out, come back together in some kind of way. That's a no. They might try to bait us in some kind of way, shape, form, or another, saying how depressed they are, or sad they are, or how much they need help, or whatever. That's good. Okay, so they're not allowed access. This came out face down. I mean, in reverse. They're not allowed access. If we let them in, they're toxic to our system. If you feed it, it will eat you. All they need to do is to get our consent in order to infiltrate, penetrate, and then whatever agenda they have. Yeah, they learned enough now to know better, and they're trying to come back in and perfect their con or scam or whatever. And normally this is a good card, but it comes with the sickness, malady, amalato. I'm hearing that song. You want to give up? You know you're down with the sickness. Yeah, I'm a '90s kid, early aughts. I used to listen to all that Mudvayne, Powerman 5000, Orgy, Slipknot, Stained, Corn, even the Biscuit for a while. I think that's Disturbed. You're down with the sickness. You know you're down with the sickness. That's an old rock band. And we have to do this Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, because what they're trying to do is create a situation where they can be attentive to whatever woe we're having, and we're not having any woes. We keep ascending to a higher vibration, and they're like, what is going on? I'm over here trying to knock you down, tear you apart, and all I'm doing is building you up. Yeah, because you're not the one. You know, my God, I don't worship you. I don't give a F about you. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You know, blessings be upon you. Peace and awakenings to your healing and health. Goodbye. So what is Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles? Because that's spell work at an altar. And it's love. Seven of Cups was the indicator, but I didn't have sickness in my stomach, so I didn't detect it. Um, yeah, we're prepared. We're anchoring ourselves in a bunch of changes that are going on. So we're the eye of the storm, and they're creating a storm. So that's what they're not realizing. Yes, okay, you threw me out to the wolves, but I came back leading the pack. Oh, yeah, you buried me, but you didn't realize I was a seed. Oh, yeah, you put me under all this pressure, but you didn't realize I'd come out like a diamond. Like, oh, yeah, you caused a great big storm in my life, but you didn't realize I'm the eye of the storm. You know, what's a man to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non believer? Oh no. What's a man to a mob? What's a mob to a king? Da, 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 da. What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? Yeah. I'm sorry. We know that's Mr. West. It's kind of problematic right now, but we love that song. Yeah, it's some little rinky rink love spell, some little brujeria, abracadabra, santeria. No, no. See, adversarial, I don't want, this does not go together. L'amante, il nemico, enemy and the lover. So that's not even, no. And what it is a love spell. They're trying to yoke themselves to us. Okay, so this is a failed love spell, which is not always a failed love spell. Sometimes they're trying to sweeten or garner favor or whatever, because I did not get the stomach ache. And there was no union when we pulled out the love oracle, pop of love oracle. So you know what? I hope you work that out. Somebody needed to be attached to us to gain curry favor or whatever. And when we came around, we were this reckoning. We were, because our energetic field was one of reckoning. And then they took that to be bigoted. They thought there was something wrong because we didn't want them, but that was their own ego collapsing. And so they did some type of root work or altar work or fetish work where they did a lot of chanting and they used either pictures or hair or something of that nature. And it just backfired. And now their reckoning is coming for them. And all we've done is withdraw our energy and sit in cycle. We've been gracious and exalted to them this whole time. We're chosen. They're going up against the sacred officer of the court. And the court is the heavens here. I'm not talking about a court of law. I'm talking about a celestial court of karma. So they have to face this reckoning now, or they need to reaffirm their vow and oath to spirit. But they will be judged. They will be weighed against the scale, and there will be some type of consequence on their behalf here. So we took a sacred vow, a sacred oath. And that's the thing that's defending us. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything resonated deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. As always, if anything resonated deeply with you, like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Just a quick prayer for all those still lost out there, to illusion, delusion, confusion, trapped in disease, the time lost, and we're in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness. We love you, we're sorry, please forgive us, thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be whole, may you be at peace, may we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandava, and ashe, sayonara, that's vidanya, avida zane. Remember, smash that like button. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.